That's racist!
That was a good video. I like that. The gameplay was goated. Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, I thought it was really good. I mean, I think most people thought that, honestly. I feel like a lot of people did. So I was glad to see it. The Mimic Boss too. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff was good with the game, right? It wasn't just one thing. Expedition 33 has better gameplay than Baldur's Gate 3 by a mile. Well, yeah, because they focus mainly on gameplay. I think that's what makes the most sense, doesn't it? There's the video right there. I actually like Hypnotic's videos a lot. I mean, I've watched a lot of them myself. And, you know, make sure to give him a sub and everything like that. He has, how many does he have? 107,000 subscriberinos. Wow. And
there we go. That should do it. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. There we go. Yep, that works. Well, top tier content. I know. It's top tier. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Shout out to all you guys. Welcome to another episode. Oh man. There's an echo. Like it's a bad echo? Or like what's the deal? Shouldn't be. This should not be an echo at all. Hold on, let me see. What's up, Mafu Takumi? Holy shit, what's going on? Welcome back. She said nope. Oh, good. Okay. All right, cool. We're not listening to Sonia. Perfect. I'm being trolled. Yeah, I should have known. You know what it is? Because she's mad. She's mad, ladies and gentlemen. All right, boys, listen. Shout out to all you guys. Welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right. We are live, boys. We are live. We are going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, you got to bring it in. Come on, get in close. Let's go. Listen, I may have fallen asleep, but that's okay. That is okay. Because listen, even though I fell asleep, it doesn't matter because we're still going to get in here and we're going to do the fucking work. Okay. We're going to get in here. We're going to hug it out. We are going to celebrate the day after Christmas together for a little bit and we're going to hang out. So get the fuck in here. Let's hug it out right now. There is no message anymore because you guys already know what happened to Santa. If you missed the video, I'm going to replay the video, but I can't show you the ending because unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like the ending. So here's the video of what happened to Santa.
Looks like Santa bit off more than he could chew this year, Chief. Total gridlock.
We have some bad news, Hypnotic. Someone touched Santa's hairy belly. I will investigate Santa's house and get down to the bottom of this horrific crime.
What the fuck happened here? Could it have been the gopher or the wombat or the beaver?
It was us, Hypnotic. It was us all along, and now you're next.
And well, I would show you the ending, but unfortunately, YouTube doesn't. Oh my god. If you're watching on YouTube, like the stream now. Right now. Not nearly Puerto Rican enough, I know. If you're watching on Rumble, like the stream. If you're watching on Twitter, like the post. And if you're watching anywhere else that right now, this is you. So like the stream. Don't let it happen to you. Can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking? What are we checking today, ladies and gentlemen? Let me. Oh my God! Look at this, bro. Look at this. This is why Sonia doesn't want to get involved in the hugs. Look at this. What the fuck is this, bro? Old man Cad is sneaking in a dick in between every hug in the chat. Do you see this right now? What is going on here? What is this? What what the fuck is this? What is this, old man Cad? What are you doing? Jesus. What else we checking, man? Building a Gundam check? Are you are you actually building a Gundam? Are you actually building one? That's pretty cool. I wish I could be you. What else we doing? Leave me the fuck alone check. Wow. Somebody's the Grinch. Back to the checks. Yep. I'm not buying $100 game. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hypnotic's back check. Yes, I was back yesterday. I don't know if you missed it, Talonforge. Neo's kicking my ass check. Is it really? I mean, the game is kind of hard sometimes. Yeah, I guess so. Granddaughter is home. Oh, but yeah, by the way, I was going to share that tonight, but since you already said it, I guess I'll do it now. Old man Cat informed us of what happened to his granddaughter on the last stream yesterday. And the good news is that the granddaughter is home and she is in fact okay after that scary fall. So shout out to Old Man Cat. Shout out to Old Man Cat, man. I'm very happy to hear that everything is okay with the granddaughter. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What else are we checking? How's the 7K Gundam? I don't have a 7K Gundam, and I don't want one. What else we checking? That is in response to the hugs. Oh, whoops. Sorry. What else we checking? Listening while playing Arkham City. You know, I need to get back into the Arkham series. I really do. It's been a long time since I played them. Especially like the first one. What else we checking? All right, everybody's just basically congratulating Old Man Cat, which is good enough for me. All right, boys, listen, ESG scores are at their maximum, fully funded. Like the stream. Let's go. Let's go. All right, boys. Let's do the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who is in this chat right now. Aside from former Kotaku journalists, Black Samurais, and unfortunately did exist at one point, they no longer do, and people that swear that they were celebrating Christmas, but then they weren't celebrating with us. So what's up with that? What's up with that? I'm just kidding. All right, boys. Who we got in here? Let's see. We got Democulus over on Rumble. What's going on, dude? Mystic Vegeta, Jong01, Sanaken. I don't know how to say this name. I never know how to say his name. Sanaken Sibo? Sanaken Saibo? One of the two. Shout out to you, man. Monkey Man 04, Dark Dimos, the legend. Old Man Cad. What's going on, dude? Deku Leader, Mr. Melancholy, Jay Sims, Baboy. Odin Dark. We got Shadow Buster, Ryu Hayabusa check. We got Trey Burkhalter. Let's go soon to buying Steam Deck. Let's fucking go. You know what I love? I love so many people that were getting Steam Decks for the holidays. I know Ali Kusanagi finally got his OLED Steam Deck. That was awesome. It's good to see so many people getting their machines. We got Charlie Nuclear. We got Galatea Titania. There you go. We got Sony Lisette, the Angry Latina. We got Skeg from Craigslist. We got Gray Soul. We got Draconic over on Rumble. We got the King Joker, Saint Adjacent. We got Ali Kusanagi, Disiltsu. We got Radio Chimp, Deku Leader, the King Joker, 2K GameCuber, Lord Chariot. We got who else is here? Gray Soul, Sicknotic. No, not Sicknotic. Just basically we just woke up. I'm on the road, guys, so I'm trying to enjoy my time and not be like slaving away on YouTube. But at the same time, I also don't miss streams very often. So most people, if they fell asleep and they woke up late, they just would skip the stream. But I'm not most people. We got Valkyrie. We got The Voice in the Water. Extra Hall. We got Grimlock. What's going on, Grimlock? We got Mafu. We got Joel Jimenez. We got Commander Sonak. We got Nick Havoc, Creepier07, Jay Sims. We got Dickachu. I fucking love this name, bro. We got Pat Show. Do it. Did I say that right? Pat Show we do it? Sure. Demon Carol. Oliver. We got Oliver Adam. Cheap Daniel. Frenchie07. Shin Phil. All right, boys, 4 more people. 4 more people. Then we got to get on with the show because we're actually going to talk about topics today. We're going to talk about topics today, ladies and gentlemen. We're not missing it. The last 2 days on Christmas, we missed it. First time we missed it because YouTube fucked us. Second time we missed it, well, that's because we were just partying too hard. Third time, we're definitely not missing it. 4 more people. We got Felsteph. We got A Kickin' Danitz. We got Backbone EJ8, Romanizer 24, True Aztec Warrior, Matthew with the Heroic Priest. We got Weenie for Sweeney. You sound down in the dumps? I'm not. I'm literally not. I'm all good. All good. We got, let me see. Bugsy. What's going on, Bugsy? We got Magdy32, Lucky Boy, Blue Octopussy, Talon Forge. What's up, dude? Panthera, Mr. Melancholy, Ron DFK, Midnight Mike. Who else we got? Spectral Heartless. My Steam Deck crashes a lot. Really? Do you have an LCD or do you have an OLED? Because when I had my LCD one would always have like problems, but my OLED has been smooth as butter. So I don't know. Maybe the LCD one, has issue. You have an OLED? Interesting. I have yet to have an OLED problem. If I do, I will let you know. All right, last but not least, we got Saint Adjacent. We got Vigilante up. We got Raven X50. And we got, who else is here? Joel Jimenez and Buffoon Takumi. All right, boys. Listen, I called out as many people as I possibly could. Let's sacrifice your fellow bigot army member. I don't care if I called you twice. Everybody in the chat who is like, he said my name twice. And I'll say it a third time. Saint Adjacent. Who else said that? Let me scroll up. Matthew. Yeah. And third time now. What are we doing? All right. Who's getting the money shot today? Come on, boys. Who's getting the money shot today? We got Voice in the Water saying no Kotaku. That's going to be very important considering today. No PC Gamer, no IGN. The person down by 5 got so many video games for Christmas that they completely forgot to defend themselves against the money shot. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, people getting lazy, bro. People are legit getting lazy.
Holy shit.
People are getting lazy on the holiday. Literally no defense. How is that even possible? Especially from someone who's been here multiple times for a long time. Ron DFK. Do you think the cowboy hat protects you from the money shot? Is that what it is? Do you think cowboy hat protects you? God damn it. All right, boys. Ron DFK, congratulations, my man. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
What the?
Like the stream. Like it. Hold on. I saw somebody in the chat. Where did it go? Right here. Seneca Sibu says, yo, Hypnotic, it's my birthday tomorrow, big 40. Hey, cake emojis in the chat right now. Right now. We need some cake emojis in the chat right now. It is this guy's birthday. Guy, girl, I'm sorry. I don't know what you are, but it's their birthday. Cake emojis in the chat. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Big 40. That's huge. That is huge. Congratulations. You made it 40 years on this crazy planet. You're going to make it another 60. Guaranteed. I'm calling you right now. All right, boys. Listen, we got a little bit to talk about today. All right. We got some topics that we need to catch up on. First one is we're going to be looking through the top 10 biggest failures of the gaming industry for 2025, according to certain people. That's a very important one that I've been wanting to cover for the last few days, and I haven't been able to. So we're going to do that guaranteed today. We're also going to talk a little bit about Star Citizen. Star Citizen is about to pass the $1 billion mark. Let me repeat myself. Star Citizen is about to pass the $1 billion mark in player funding. $1 billion. It's fucking insane. It is insane. So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna talk about that. It's, you know, people talk about like Kickstarters, fan funding, scams, and all that stuff. And Star Citizen has to be one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary fan funded project that has still not even seen its full completion. It's crazy. $1 billion. It's fucking nuts. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the attacks that happened on all of the platforms like Steam, Epic Games, how they got shut down for the holidays. We're gonna talk a little bit about Peak. The Peak developers apparently were not ready for this level of a viral hit that they got. That initially, when the game was complete, they planned to go on vacation, but then after it released and sold 1 million copies, they said, well, that's not happening. So we're going to talk about that. We also got an issue happening with Escape from Tarkov. Apparently, accounts are being completely wiped and people are freaking out. So we got to talk about that. And we're going to talk about not Spider-Man. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Insomniac's Wolverine. Apparently, there's some things going on with Wolverine. I didn't even realize, guys, but apparently Wolverine is not going to be an open world game like the Spider-Man games were. Did you guys know that? Because I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be just like the Spider-Man games. So that's a little bit weird. So we'll discuss that. People are saying no sound. I feel like Bob, you might be watching late, bro. You might be watching late, brother. I think my mic is fine, my guy. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Wolverine and see what's going on with that, because I didn't realize that the gameplay was not going to be like Spider-Man, which is interesting. So we'll see what's going on with that. Other than that, yeah, we're going to look at some indie games if the internet allows me to do that, and have a good time. So if you guys are ready, let's get into the number one segment on YouTube, the number one segment on Rumble, the number one segment all around the galaxy. This segment is none other than the pre-stream legend.
Money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, carving a smoke code names, SJW screaming, but it's money they blame, burning with envy, they're falling flat, they can't handle the sound of a super chat.
That's right. We got ourselves the pre-stream legends, ladies and gentlemen, where if we get lucky today, keep in mind, guys, usually waifu battles on the road are very difficult to do. I'm probably not going to be able to do one tonight, just giving you a heads up. So we need to try to save our tears before any potential waifu battle, which it looks like we're on a good track so far. So thank you guys so much for that. Let's have some fun. We got Old Man Cad. Look at this legend, bro. Shout out to Old Man Cad, 1 membership. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. And I'm really, like, when you sent me that message about how she's okay, I was so happy to hear that. I was like, let me talk about it tonight on the stream, but I didn't get a chance to because you had already told the chat. So, but it's fine. It's all good. I'm glad she's okay, bro. Extra Hall, the legend. Look at this guy. Extra Hall with a 5 membership banger.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
And considering that was the first one of the stream, you already know what that means. Shout out to Extra Hall. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate that. It's more like Extra Hell. Okay, so we're going to say Extra Hell then from now on. Shout out to Extra Hell. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate that. Sonia says I missed one. Okay, I didn't miss one. All right. StreamYards missed one. Can we shift the blame to StreamYards? Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, apparently StreamYards. Oh, I see why. So the reason why is so Chief Daniels is here, but for some reason StreamYard rearranges the super chats sometimes. So I apologize for that. Chief Daniel was technically first. So you know what I'm gonna do? First off, Chief Daniel, 5 membership banger.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
And I don't think anybody's gonna complain about another round of Kiryu. Let's be real. Let's be real.
走りだと鳥に飛び立つだと進むから振り向かない明日は絶対もっとシャイニー自分次第深めに合い今すぐスタートボタンを押してみよう私はこんなんじゃないはず
Shout out to Chief Daniel with the 5. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Somebody asked in the chat. Hold on. Where did it go? Do you ever get burnt out from YouTube? So the answer is, for the most part, no. I think if I was gonna get burnt out, it would have happened by now. Considering how much of a psychopath I am, and I don't really take off very much. But I will say that the platform can be extremely infuriating. I will say that the platform itself could be extremely infuriating, but lucky for YouTube, I love doing this so much that I'm also extremely stubborn. So yeah, that's basically it. But no, I don't. I'm good. We got Felsteph with a membership. Shout out to Felsteph. I appreciate that, bro. We got Old Chim Kringle, 199. Great point. Silent Nautic. I agree. Oh, really? You think you're funny? You think you're funny? Appreciate that, bro. We got, look at this absolute fucking legend. Look at this guy, Talon Forge. Talon Forge with a 20 membership hyperbang.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Talon Forge, I need you to tell me what clip you want, my guy. Or you want me to pick. Either or I'm okay with, my man. Let me know. Let me know. Absolute legends. Weenie for Sweeney says probably the easiest job you had. Funny thing is, Weenie, you would be completely wrong about that. That's the ironic thing about that. This is probably right in the medium throughout my history of jobs in my life. So there are certain challenges to this to run it on a 7-day-a-week schedule. Now, if I was doing typical YouTube where people just do like, I don't know, once a week streams or twice a week streams or whatever, maybe. But 7 days a week for almost 2.5 years plus now? Not quite. Talon Forge. Did you say anything in the chat? I don't think he did. I'm going to have to end up picking. I don't see him in the chat. He didn't say anything. I'll give him a couple more minutes. Talon Forge, thank you, brother. 20 isn't. Oh, he said Warhammer. Never mind. Let's go.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
What a fucking legend Talon Forge is, man. Shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate the 20 memberships. By the way, guys, we managed to get our memberships up pretty high with the Christmas push. It would have been much higher if it wasn't for YouTube shutting us down. So fuck them. But yeah, You guys have been killing it lately, man. Thank you so much on the membership side of things. I appreciate it. Also on Rumble, you guys dropped bangers on Rumble as well. And I know there was like a concern of whether or not it was going to go through because obviously it takes a little bit longer for it to give out to people. But I can confirm from the back end of Rumble that it went through. All of it went through. So that's good. All of it went through. So thank you guys so much for that. Odin Dark with a 222 says, hi, Sonia. He's here to annoy Sonia. Sonia's counting solo, by the way, today. So make sure your super chats are weird. Old Chim Kringle, 199. If Blue Blackstreet don't show up tomorrow, I called it. I would not be surprised. Little Jim's Halo with a 2. Hypnotic whispering so he don't wake the clankers. Basically. Mr. Melancholy with a 2. YouTube's AI has been fucking up channels. Yep. Yes, they have been. There's been reports of so many channels. I think last I heard this year, what was the number? I don't know if it was 17 or if it was 20. It was either 17 million or 20 million. I don't know. But what I do know is that YouTube has shut down anywhere from 17 to 20 million channels this year alone. This year alone. Fucking crazy, bro. So just think about that. Debo with 11 months says, what if I don't want to like the stream? Well, then you're gay. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Extra Hell with a 2 says, Merry Christmas to all. Shout out to Extra Hell, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you again. And then look at this fucking guy, bro. Dr. Spike. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Dr. Spike, him, and a bunch of other people were causing so much chaos during Christmas that YouTube shut us down. I'm officially making it lore. I'm making it lore that Dr. Spike and all you guys are the reason why it got shut down. Oh, man. Yes, Azrahai, I started late tonight. Yes, I did. He said, your choice. Let's see. Your choice. We got to do the clankers, right? I feel like we have to do the clankers, right? Yeah, Panther says, wake up the clankers. You see? What's up, Mr. Rouge? Shout out to Mr. Rouge in the chat. Spam Mr. Rouge emojis. He's another one that was causing chaos on Christmas. Yeah, fuck it, man. Dr. Spike, $100 Red Boy Hyper. Let's do it.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's get
Holy shit.
Shout out to the legend, Dr. Spike, dropping the first Red Boy of the stream. I appreciate you, my man, as always. Thank you so much for the constant support. I really appreciate it, dude. This music reminds me of Metallica somehow. Not a bad reminder. Ali Kusanagi throwing in a membership. Shout out to you, my man. I appreciate that. Wait, what?
Holy shit.
Hold on. So, how are you talking from the dead? The Traveling Goose with a 2. Did you know you can't super chat the word hunk? Aren't you dead? I'm pretty sure you're dead, right? Goosegate confirmed. What? Something weird about this going on. Shout out to the Traveling Goose from the, I don't know, the grave. I don't know what's going on. Flips his hand with a 2. Show us your boobies when I learned about FTR Bowl. If you want to see boobies, you got to do $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger. BioT Wolf with a 5 says, they say New York City has the best New Year's celebration, but I say it's overrated every year. They drop the ball. There definitely is a level of joke there that I can appreciate. But still. We got AV with a 10, says off topic. But you think more rare old IPs will make a comeback soon? It'd be a new meta? It'd be epic to see IPs like Parasite Eve make a comeback, or the Atlas games. A lot of potential just left to rot. You know, so we spoke about Parasite Eve and like Dino Crisis and whatnot, for example, when we were talking about Code Violet. And part of me would like to see these games return, but it also depends on like how they return. Does that make sense? Oh, I gotta sneeze. It all depends on how they return, right? So, because a lot of these modern games, the problem is they return in a way that's almost unrecognizable, especially depending on how old they are. Like if they're really old, talking like PS1 era days, then if they come back, it's not necessarily going to be something that you recognize or something you're probably going to connect with. And I don't know if your nostalgia is going to carry through. Kind of similar to what happened with the Final Fantasy VII games, you know? So I don't know. I also think that a lot of these video games that had female protagonists from back in the day, I think they would be so modernized that people would just check out before they even got a chance to play the game. And I'm talking a little bit from experience because we've seen that happen with a lot of video games that have had female protagonists from before. They were well written, well designed, and then all of a sudden, you know, modernity gets their hands on them and they look like they got hit by a truck. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends how it comes back. But would I like to see modern versions of some of these games? Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like, especially Dino Crisis. You guys know I fucking love Dino Crisis, although I like Parasite Eve also. But I would love to see a modern... You know what? I would like to see a Dino Crisis made from the people who made Tormented Souls. That's it. That's what it is, right? If you can have the people who made Tormented Souls make a new modern Dino Crisis in the same way that they made Tormented Souls, I think you would have a banger on your hands, right? But, you know, unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen. So, but I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for the 10. Our cuz with the 5 membership bang.
Fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to our cuz helping carry it through. We have an insane membership train happening today. Absolutely insane. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. And last but not least on YouTube, Dr. Spike again with another $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger, the second one of the stream out of 5.
Here we go! Mucha lucha! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha!
And he says, for the Sonya Lisette emoji fund, still your choice. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. All right. Here's what I'm going to say. Because right now I'm capped on emojis. I can't get rid of the emojis that I have right now. Because every time I get rid of an emoji, I get fucking yelled at. So here's what I'll say. Let me check something really quick. It's probably going to be a large number, but maybe not after Christmas, because Christmas was crazy. Here's what I'll say. Let's check emoji tab really quick on YouTube. Okay, according to the emoji Jesus. According to the emoji tab on YouTube, we are 179 memberships away from the 30-second emoji unlock. So if we could somehow get that in the next few days, then I will add a Sonya emoji to the chat. It seems like so many of you guys want that. So we'll work towards that for the next few days. We'll work towards that. And we'll make it happen. And we'll add a Sonya emoji to the chat. So that's what we'll do. In the meantime, Dr. Spike is going to tell me to pick, you know, whatever video. So I already know what I'm going with. Let's go.
All right, boys, it's another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's
Holy shit.
Shout out to Dr. fucking Spike, man. The second Red Boy of the evening out of 5. I appreciate that, my man. And then Dr. Spike, when I said 179 memberships, I specifically stated beforehand, over the next few days, we don't have to go this crazy. Like, you understand? Like, that's not something that I expected to happen right now. Holy fuck. Dr. Spike with a 50 membership ultra hyper banger.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
And I already know he's going to tell me to pick. So I'm going to give some Asians for Old Man Cad and the good news that we received today. Let's go.
Oh my god, it's a Red Boy hyper banger.
Holy shit.
Shout out to Dr. Spike and to everybody else in the chat dropping bombs all night long. I appreciate you very much. You guys have no idea. No idea. Shout out to Dr. Spike for the 50 membership hyperbanger. I appreciate that very much, my man. Thank you, sir. And we'll work towards it, man. We'll work towards it. Deidre over on Rumble with $1 says we still need some emojis on Rumble. The problem is I'm capped on Rumble. So Rumble doesn't have the same. Oh, let me explain something really quick. Azrai in the chat said something that needs clarification because it looks like he might be confused from what Smash has said in the past. So where is Azrai? I don't know. I can't find it. The chat's moving too goddamn fast. All right. Anyway, he was basically asking because in Smash's chat, apparently, I don't know what happened, but he said that only memberships that are purchased on their own counts from YouTube. Okay, so this has been said before, and this has been false. Okay, the reason why I say that is because that is only relevant on Kick and Twitch. On Kick and Twitch, the membership goal that they have for partnership, it only counts the one that you personally buy. It does not count gifted memberships. But on YouTube, they gatekeep emojis by a massive amount of memberships, especially once you start getting past 25. The amount of memberships needed for the next emoji is ridiculous. But they do allow gifted memberships to count. How do I know this? Well, because I've been doing this for 3 years and I know that they fucking count. So on YouTube, they count. Gifted memberships do count towards memberships goals in YouTube. That's why. So you got to remember there's a split between the two. Kick and Twitch are separate. YouTube, it does count. Otherwise, nobody would get it, number one, because the numbers are ridiculous. And number two, I wouldn't be telling people to do that if it didn't count. That would be a waste. So anyway, Deidre thank you for the $1, brother. I'm capped on Rumble. All the Rumble emojis are utilized. So the only way I can add one is if I delete some emojis. So if you guys don't like some emojis over there, let me know and I'll delete them and then I'll replace them with something you do like. Where am I at? Okay. Wow, bro. My God. Dr. Spike. At first, I thought that was a glitch, and I thought that was a repeat. But it's not. It's not. Apparently, it's another one. It's another one. Am I sick again? No, I'm not sick again. Fucking hell. I am trying to be respectful. Okay, not everybody likes to be up late at night, being a psychopath working. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Oh my God. All right. Dr. Spike, 50 membership fucking hyperbanger. Let's go.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy hyper banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Holy shit.
Okay, everyone, we got another Red Boy hyper banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike. This legendary second 50 membership hyperbanger got him banned. Got him banned. No, we knew that was going to happen. It was only a matter of time, man. YouTube's like, nope. Shut him down. Stop him. Stop him. Shut him down. That's funny, man. Yeah, shout out to Dr. Spike. He went out guns blazing. I appreciate that, brother. We did listen, that's 2/3 of the way there. So you already did that all on your own, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So out of 179, we need well, our cuz, let me see. I don't know if our cuz is counted. I think his did. So 50, 100, we're at 105 out of 179. So that should be fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. Denarier becoming a member all on his own. Shout out to Denarier. Appreciate that, bro. And then Randall dropping a 10 membership mega banger. Look at this fucking
go! It's a membership banger!
shout out to Randall, bro. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. What a fucking legend. Holy shit. The membership train has been nuts the last couple of days, guys. Thank you so much. UFO Mega with a 5. Yeah, guys. ICE is nice enough to let him stream from their facility. He's just trying to be respectful. Fuck you, UFO Mega. That was funny. That was a good one. I appreciate that. And then Flip Shazam with a 5. Look, I have to be up late with the company doing all this foreign trade zone bull and data retention and how to use generative AI. I hate this place. I'm sorry you hate that place, man. I'm sorry. But at least you get to hang out with us. So that's got to make it a little bit better, right? At least a little bit. Okay, and we caught up on Rumble with the exception of D Draconic dropping a membership over on Rumble. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, boys. With that being said, we are fully caught up. We are fully caught up, boys. Let's get into gifted games, and then we're going to get into the content. We are not missing the content tonight. We missed it the last couple of nights. We got to get into it, boys. Old Man Cat with a 2 says, the fam got me a dad joke button. Time to share. They got you a dad joke button? Oh, my God, bro. Are you serious? You know what? But if anybody would get a dad joke button, it would be you. It absolutely would be you. Okay, let's see if the website actually works this time, because it wasn't working last time. Because Steam was being fucking gay last time. I don't know why. But we got Zevin Cross saying, have fun, yo. Gifting Sin Duality Echo of Ada. It's a PvPvE extraction shooter where players aided by an AI partner known as Magus must survive against xenomorphic creatures and other players in the hunt for resources. Nope, can't do it. All right, so we're going to have to go to the fucking, hold on. We're going to have to go to the actual Steam app. Let me see if I can make this happen. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with the website. It's so weird. It won't let me do it from the website. Okay, Steam app. Let's make this bigger and go over here. There we go. All right, let's do this. So, right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Zevin Cross, like I said, Sin Duality Echo of Ada. Thank you for that, Zevin Cross. Appreciate that, man. And then we got Sheepsidian. Shout out to Sheepsidian. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but I appreciate that, bro. Sheepsidian says Merry Christmas, and he gifts Absalom. Dude, I was not expecting that. Shout out to Sheepsidian, man. Thank you so much, man. Like I said, I don't know if he's in the chat, but I'll go stalk him and tell him thank you. I appreciate that, Sheep. That's awesome. And then you got Ali Kusanagi saying Merry Christmas, bro. TMNT Shredder's Revenge Ultimate Edition. I've heard so many good things about this game. So many good things. I gotta play this. You guys know I played the last one. I played the roguelite one. So can't wait to play this one. Shout out to Ali Kusanagi. What a fucking badass gift, bro. I appreciate that. And then we got Blind Observer gifting 2 Point Hospital. This must be Dr. Spike's game. Dr. Spike's game. Shout out to Blind Observer. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. And then last but not least, you got Crispy Krem saying, slay those knights. Hope you enjoy, and gifted Blood Thief, which is an ultra-fast melee dungeon runner where you use momentum to parkour through hazardous dungeons and brutally slash through enemies. Really? So it's a parkour dungeon crawler? That's different, right? That's kind of interesting. Speed run through haunted crypts and castles and learn what dark secrets lie beneath. That sounds interesting. I've never heard of a fucking a parkour dungeon crawler. Gonna have to check that one out. Shout out to you guys, man. Badass gifts. You guys gifted a ton of games the other day. No Hearts Left gifted 100 games on his own. Fucking insane. You guys have been nuts, man. Thank you so much, man. Christmas has been wild, and I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. All right, boys. Mr. Spanglish, 19 months. Did you hear about the electrician who assaulted a man? He was charged with batteries. Really? Really? Thank you, Mrs. Spanglish. I appreciate 19 months. Angel of Destiny, $4.99. Why didn't my name dogs Rolex and Cartier? Because use their watchdogs. It just gets worse. It gets worse. Somehow it gets worse. I don't know how it got worse, but it did. It did. Shout out to Angels of Destiny. I appreciate that, man. All right, boys. We're caught up everywhere. Thank you guys for the insane support. Are we finally ready to get into topics? Let's go. We're doing this one first. We are doing this one first. We cannot miss it. We have to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys ready for this? The top 10 biggest gaming disappointments of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So Kotaku ended up putting out an article called The Top 10 Biggest Gaming Disappointments of 2025. And when I first saw this, Old Man Cat sent this to me. And when he sent this to me, I was going to ignore it because I was like, it's Kotaku, like who gives a fuck, but my curiosity got the best of me. And I ended up checking it out and I was like, wow, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. This is pretty like coping, like this is definitely them coping and seething over the state of the industry right now. So I figure we could check this out together because I think we're going to find some hilarity in all of this. So let's get through this from Kotaku. The 10 biggest gaming disappointments of 2025. AI slop infected more games. That's how they start off, by the way. Of course, they start off with the number one thing that currently concerns all of them right now. AI slop infected more video games. Cool stuff was canned. People lost their jobs. And other horrible video game news from 2025. Of course. So let's get it. Let's just get right into it, man. This is written by Zach Zweisen, number one Kotaku weirdo. He says, I'd hope 2025 would be better than 2024. Well, you hoped wrong. Why would you think that? And in some personal ways, it was. But it was also just yet another year filled with layoffs, AI slop, greedy executives, price increases, and more signs that the entire industry is collapsing. You know what's crazy to me? What's crazy to me is that these are the people that will yell at like YouTubers when we say that the gaming industry is collapsing. Like we'll use titles that say gaming industry collapsing or gaming industry destroyed or whatever, right? We'll use titles like that every now and then if it's relevant. And then they'll say that we're clickbaiting with that, or they'll say that, oh, we're making shit up with that. And meanwhile, here they are literally using the same exact terminology. The entire gaming industry is collapsing. It's like, bro, you guys are saying the same exact thing. Why is it okay for you to say it, but it's not okay for anybody else to say it? It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. So like we've done in years past, Kotaku has rounded up a collection of some of the worst, most disappointing video game news and events from 2025 and cataloged it in a handy dandy list. Take breaks as you scroll through this and let's all hope 2026 is better. It can't be worse, right? Please tell me it can't be worse, please. Well, anytime you say that, it's immediately going to get worse. Just so you're aware. Anytime you question fate and you say it can't get worse, can it? Oh, it definitely can. And keep in mind, guys, chances are most of the things they're going to talk about is all going to be Western gaming related. Anybody see a pattern here? Anybody notice a pattern? all the problems seem to be in the Western gaming industry. Meanwhile, the East is perfectly fine. Odin Dark with a 223 says justice for Dr. Spike, also funds for Sonya's beads. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you, Odin Dark. Yes, hashtag justice for Dr. Spike. He cannot donate anymore. The man got banned, locked in cage. He's locked in a cage in Peru. That's what it is. All right, so let's go. First one up, so many canceled games. Oh, man. And look, the first picture they see, Perfect Dark, of course. Of course. Of course. This was the year in which, more than ever, a lot of big games got canned, or we learned about projects that were binned not long ago. Perfect Dark, the slick-looking reboot of Rare's sci-fi shooter series, canned, and the studio behind it shuttered. A Wonder Woman game from Monolith, canceled, taking the beloved studio behind No One Lives Forever and Shadow of Mordor down with it. An EA-published Black Panther game from some former Monolith devs that would have reportedly featured a version of Mordor's popular Nemesis system, dead, and the studio behind it closed. EA shelved the Titanfall extraction shooter spinoff. Sony killed a few live service games, including a God of War multiplayer project and a cool-looking Transformers games from Splash Damage got the axe this year, leading to, you guessed it, layoffs. Guys, did you notice that every game that they mentioned, with the exception of potentially the Transformers video game, was all modern reboot trash? You guys notice that? Like, all of these games have been in development hell. They don't mention that, by the way. At least I don't think they mention that. They don't mention the fact that Wonder Woman was in development for 3 to 4 years and made no progress. No progress. So little progress, and they wasted over $100 million on 3 to 4 years of development with little to no progress, and you're sitting up here and complaining that the fucking game got canceled? Are you serious? Same thing with the Black Panther game. The Black Panther game was in development for 3 to 4 years, made little to no progress, spent over $100 million, and you're angry that the fucking game got canceled? And then Perfect Dark, the video game that we found out had barely anything to it, to the point where they had to fake almost 98% of their fucking gameplay trailer. That game gets canceled. Are you serious right now? And then you have the audacity to blame greedy executives. Oh my God, bro. This is what I mean by the gaming journalists are disconnected from reality. I think a lot of people that are in the gaming industry are disconnected from reality. I think they got so used to being subsidized, thinking that money was infinite. Money's not infinite, bro. Money's got to come from somewhere, right? And for you to be out here complaining, you mentioned all of these games that all had massive problems, massive problems in development, and you're completely ignoring those facts. Then you're not living in the right reality. I think you need to reevaluate yourself and figure out what the real problem is. The only one that I didn't really know about was the Transformers game from Splash Damage. I don't know too much about that one. But who the fuck wants a God of War live service game? We talked about that many times throughout the year, didn't we? Who wants that? Every time I talked about God of War live service, almost everybody was like, yeah, I don't want that shit. That sounds pretty gay. Give me a single player God of War game, or a Titanfall extraction shooter. Yeah, it got killed off because there's so many extraction shooters now. It was late to the game. You think Titanfall couldn't even compete with its main IP? You think it could compete with a side project? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, these are just the ones that we know about. I bet a lot more games were canceled in 25 as publishers continue to focus more and more on fewer franchises that can be reliably counted on to turn a profit. And as noted, many of these cancellations led to layoffs and studios being closed, a problem we're talking about separately because in 25, these cuts and closings happen a lot. Yeah, and they should. Oh, good. He's going to cover it in the next one. Good. I cannot wait to see the complaints. I can't wait to see the complaints. Sleepy Bookworm said, meanwhile, Concord costs somewhere around $400 million, and it only lasts 2 weeks. Pretty disconnected example, as these amongst poorly designed and poorly written trash. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. These people are disconnected from reality. The fact that you're complaining about all these games that have cost millions, not even millions, I'm sorry, hundreds of millions of dollars. These games, I'll put it to you like this. These games with equal development time, $100 million plus. They had nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, you have other developers taking the same amount of time to develop their games with 1/20th of the budget, and they managed to put out full games. They managed to put out full-on games in the same amount of time. Meanwhile, all these other studios that are working on Black Panther, working on Wonder Woman, and all this shit, they had the same amount of time to develop a game, and they had nothing to show for it, and they took all the money. At some point, someone's going to shut you off, right? I feel like that's only a matter of time. So to sit up here and complain and pretend like this is something bad, this is stupid. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so let's see. More layoffs and studio closings. 2025 wasn't as bad for the industry layoffs as 24, but it was still pretty terrible. Nearly 10,000 developers lost their jobs, according to layoff tracker Amir Sadvat. That's down from over 15,000 pink slips of 2025, but it's still up from 22. The big cutbacks were once again at Microsoft, which shaved hundreds of jobs across its gaming division, including at Rare, ZeniMax, and King. I think they're low on this number, by the way. I'm almost positive this number's higher. And the reason why I say that is because they're going based off this tracker. I know what this tracker is. And this tracker has a bunch of studios listed with question marks because the studios were mentioning layoffs, but they didn't tell you exactly how many people got laid off. So there's a lot of studios that fired people in the gaming industry, and we don't know how many. So this is only 10,000 confirmed. I would probably tell you it's double that. I'd probably tell you it's most likely in the 20,000 range. Just like in 2024, it was 15,000. I tell you this is probably like 25,000. Same exact thing because they were all listed with question marks, so we don't know for sure. But in any case, but those were hardly the only ones. Notable teams like Cloud Chamber, working on BioShock 4, lost dozens of staff. Amazon Gaming cut over 100 positions. And Square Enix big cuts across its international publishing business. Indies were also still hit hard. Heart Machine had to lay off people and end Hyper Light Breaker early access development early, while Recreation maker Three Fields Entertainment turned to Patreon for its looks for new funding. Why would you be surprised, though? Aside from Recreation, have you seen what they did with Hyper Light Breaker? Seriously, like, why would you be? Do you even see the main character for Hyper Light Breaker? Have you? Do you guys remember that? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hyper Light Breaker. Let me see. Hold on. Where is it at? I mean, it's not exactly the most interesting group. And to be honest with you, even if you did find the characters interesting, the truth is that with Hyper Light Breaker, there were so many problems with this game. There were so many problems with this game from a performance standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, from a content standpoint. There was a lot of problems. And people who were fans of the original game that wanted to give this game a chance, they were disappointed. So if they were left disappointed, whose fault is that? Is that the indie developer, not having enough funding or something like that? Like, no, this is the fault of the developer that unfortunately they didn't do right by their fans. This is like if Hollow Knight Silksong came out and gave you nothing of what you wanted as a Hollow Knight fan. Because that's exactly what happened here. Right? Now, obviously, they worked with SBI. So that was also another problem, right? People didn't want to support the game because it was basically on SBI Detected. And people know that SBI worked on this game. This was discovered before SBI started hiding their projects. But overall, even if you wanted to give the game a chance, it ended up releasing like absolute trash. And then you have to question, okay, well, maybe it's because these indie developers that didn't have a lot of money, maybe the money that they spent developing the game on the last one, they decided to take and spend on SBI. And that resulted in giving them nothing of worth in return. And all they ended up having was a game that was underdeveloped and had really trash writing, and people were very unhappy with the overall final product. So at the end of the day, it's their fault. It's their fault. That's it. So you could try to blame, whatever else you want, but realistically, that is their fault. Let's keep going. Hold on. Shout out really quick. Shadow Walker dropping the 5 membership bang.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to Shadow Walker. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Legendary. Tiger not excited you with a 2 your son was good hedgehog this Christmas. I can't, bro. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. What's wrong with the look? So there's nothing inherently wrong with the look. What it is that it's already a style that's not going to attract a mass amount of people. So if you're already not going to attract the mass amount of people with that kind of style, then the people that you do attract, you have to make sure that you do right by them. And the truth is that they didn't, right? Again, even if you wanted to ignore the SBI involvement, the truth is that when people got their hands on the game, they were highly disappointed. So much so that the forums were filled from people who were fans of the original game. I remember covering all this. People who were fans of the original game were complaining about the second game. There was a lot of broken promises. There were a lot of performance issues. There were a lot of things wrong with the game. So this is a fault of the developer themselves, whether they want to, admit that or not. It's the fault of them on their own. Anyway, let's continue. In terms of BioShock 4, I mean, it is what it is. Amazon Gaming, we saw what happened there. Let's not pretend that Amazon Gaming hasn't been holding it down. You know what I mean? They've been holding it the fuck down. So, not surprised there. What the fuck? Oh my god, dude. Dr. Spike over on Rumble for a $200 Red Boy Hyper banger said, because YouTube banned me from gifting. What the fuck, bro?
Holy shit!
I thought I was stubborn. Holy shit. I thought I was stubborn. Oh my god. Bro, what the fuck? What do I even say to that? All right, well, in that case, wow. I don't know what to say. The doc is back. Yeah, he's back. He's on Rumble now. He said, if YouTube won't take it, I'll give it to Rumble. I feel like that deserves some legendary clips. And I know everybody likes Warhammer girls. So we're gonna do that for Dr. Spike. Let's take a quick 1 minute break. Here we go.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike. Matt Red Boy on Rumble, showing love over there on Rumble. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that very much. Fucking Dr. Spike, when YouTube attacked us, dropped like a 50 membership hyperbanger over on Rumble. It was crazy. People were receiving memberships for like 30 minutes after that because Rumble couldn't keep up. It's insane, man. Shout out to Dr. Spike. I appreciate that, bro. Legendary, man. Legendary support on Rumble. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. Here we go. Well, hold on, let's read this. Randomly looking up the developer behind Floppy Nights to see what they were working on next, only to find a shutdown notice on their homepage. Pretty much summed up the ongoing industry vibe. Good. Good. You know, because sometimes when things are so bad, you need a mass cleansing, you know, and I think that things were so bad in the gaming industry. I think there was a lot of overhiring that was happening all the way from 2020 that was still prevalent in 2024 and 2025. And I think the industry is correcting itself. That's what it was only a matter of time. And we talked about this for years, right? We talked about this for years where we were saying that it was only a matter of time before money was going to run out or shit's going to hit the fan and things are going to correct themselves, right? And what we're seeing now is the correction. This is the correction. And usually it's a slow and steady thing. It doesn't happen immediately, but this is absolutely a correction that is happening right now in the gaming industry. So you either will, survive it or not, right? But the truth is that unfortunately for them, the subsidization is just not readily available anymore. That's another thing we talk about all the time. Everything that we have talked about has led to this situation right now. So anyway, here's a good one. Generative AI slop spreads through the game industry. And this is the picture they choose.
Holy shit.
Out of all the pictures to choose, you choose this one. Wow. That's okay. That's a choice. Generative AI isn't new technology. It's been floating around for a few years now. So then why are you complaining about it? Why are you complaining about it? Anybody have an answer? Why are you complaining about it? If you openly admit that generative AI has been around for a few years now, why are you complaining about it? Anyway, but in 2025, it felt like AI popped up more than ever across different games and studios. Sven Victi, the head of Baldur's Gate 3 maker Larian Studios, stepped into it big time in December after he sounded shockingly bullish on AI-generated tools. He wasn't bullish. He was realistic. See, this CEO, he lives in reality. You do not live in reality. That's the problem. So the CEOs that live in reality and understand that AI is just a tool, and it's a tool that's going to be utilized by the gaming industry, whether you like it or not, and you either learn quickly and you adapt or you are going to be left behind. He understands that, which is why he's a CEO. The gaming journalists bitching about it because of morality, they don't live in reality, so they don't understand that. So they're fucking retarded, right? But of course, he doesn't take, he takes every opportunity to throw them under the bus again. And Victi wasn't alone. Plenty of other video game executives and bosses had a lot of positive things to say about AI generation tools. Hey, I'll tell you like this. They're always going to be positive about any new tool that makes their job easier and that will allow them to keep more profits, right? The difference is that whether or not we can recognize it or not. If the gamer can recognize it, that's going to be a problem. If the gamer cannot recognize it and the game is good, nobody's going to care. This has been proven through multiple different video game releases that have already happened. So we are going to start seeing now, as things continue forward, we are going to see different studios in the industry that are going to be utilizing AI the right way or the wrong way. And that's what we're going to be calling out next, right? So we're going to be looking and saying, okay, this video game that lowered their budget by, or kept their budget the same, let's just say. But while keeping their budget the same, they also fired a bunch of people to increase their profits. Did their game take a hit because of that? Yes or no? And then we look at the game and we say, okay, it did take a pretty big hit because of that. So that's a problem. Or we look at the game and say, holy shit, this game is amazing. And they got rid of all the bloat at their studio and buckled down and didn't have to do crunch because they were all on time and did their work and AI helped them. Nobody's going to care. You know what I mean? Nope, nobody's going to care at that point. So this is going to be a very interesting discussion going into 2026 and looking at all these games that are eventually going to be released and keep in mind, I'm going to tell you like this. Every conversation about AI, probably 95% plus, every conversation about generative AI is going to be started by the Western gaming media. I promise you, I'll put money on that. I will guarantee you that there will be almost no YouTuber, almost no Eastern anything media. Nobody is going to talk about the AI in a video game until the Western gaming media turns it into an issue. And they're going to make sure that they take every opportunity to turn every single game that uses generative AI into an issue. And then people are going to react to that reaction. That's just how the entirety of 26 is going to go. So every month, you're going to have Kotaku, you're going to have The Gamer, you're going to have PC Gamer. They're going to talk in their Discords. They're going to say, okay, this game uses Gen AI. The developer has not bent the knee to our demands. This is the next one you need to write a hit piece on. Let's write the hit pieces and let's put them out there. That's what's going to happen every fucking month. Every month. And there's going to be a new target, a new video game. And then they're going to claim harassment when people yell at them and say, hey, you're retarded. 9 out of 10 times is going to be, hey, you're retarded. You're complaining for no reason. You know? So that's just what it's going to be. So it's going to be up to the people who review video games to be honest about the game and say, you know what? This game uses Gen AI, but is it a problem or is it not? And hopefully there are people out there that are going to do that more than the journalists that are going to be complaining about it, which I think there is. So we'll see how that goes. But they're definitely going to try to turn it into a big moral panic, you know, whatever bullshit thing. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 director Daniel Vavra is all for AI usage if it lets the studio make games faster. Why is that a problem? Why that's my question. Why is that a problem? Why is it a problem that somebody who makes video games, that spends years and years making video games, why is it a problem that he's looking for a way to make video games faster without sacrificing quality? You notice how they left that part out? They left out the part about him wanting to keep the quality the same. He said that if he can make video games faster without having to use all this other nonsense and keep the game the same, then that's what he wants to do. Because he's getting older and it takes him 7 to 8 years to make a game. So if he could take 4 to 5 years to make a game, well, why wouldn't you want to do that? If the quality is the same, why would you not want to do that? Because some bullshit morality? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Nobody cares about that. Right? The only people that care about that are the people who aren't making video games. Notice how that's a pattern? Anyway, Chris Cox, the CEO of D&D parent company Hasbro, said AI is supercharging fandom. Nexon CEO Jung-Hoon Lee, whose company owns the studio behind Arc Raiders, said in an interview that if it's important to assume that every game company is now using AI and that other companies need to rely on the tech to increase their competitiveness. Helldivers 2 boss Shams Jorjani thinks people are being too quick to dismiss AI and called the Arc Raiders' use of tech interesting, adding that in his view, the tech actually makes gaming better. Level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino reportedly said that it's becoming common sense in the creative world to rely on the power of AI to boost work efficiency. Level 5 is a studio behind Professor Layton and Ni no Kuni. So again, all these people that actually make the video games, and some of them make banger video games, are telling you that AI has helped their studios tremendously. Why the fuck, as gaming journalists, are you then complaining about that? Especially when you haven't seen the product that they are making supposedly with AI involved, right? You've only seen their products before. So let's see what they can do now that they're supposedly supercharged with AI. And if it's trash, then we can call it out as trash. But if it's not, do you have to sit there and then admit that maybe AI is not necessarily an all-encompassing problem? Just like all these other tools are not necessarily all-encompassing problems? You got to look at the games as they are and see what they're doing with the technology. It's all about how you use the technology. It's not about the technology itself. right? Everybody, these are the same people, by the way. You know why they think like this? These are the same people that complain about guns and they want to take guns away from you because criminals use guns. Not realizing that criminals are going to get their hands on guns and no law is going to stop them from getting their hands on guns. So all you're doing is disarming the good people that actually have guns because they blame the tool instead of blaming the person utilizing the tool. They're doing the same exact thing here. It's literally the same thing here. Mr. Hardcore Mode says nowhere wins meet have AI in the Asian gaming area. They have slowly given up on Western gaming choices. Well, there you go. Shout out to Mr. Hardcore Mode, by the way, brother. I saw one of your videos, man. Good stuff. Let's continue. The gung-ho attitude so many gaming executives and bosses have towards Gen AI tools likely explains how ugly, wonky AI slop keeps ending up in bigger video games, including battle. Bro, how are you going to sit here and call the AI stuff being put in video games ugly when you guys advocate for some of the ugliest shit that anybody's ever seen in gaming? How is that a thing? Just because you made it by hand doesn't mean that it immediately is beautiful. You guys advocate for some of the ugliest shit that we've ever seen. You guys literally gave Smash JT an entire job on Twitter. I'm not even kidding. Like, he is annoyingly posting every day one fucking photo of fixing an ugly bitch in gaming. And I'm looking, every time he posts it, I'm looking and I'm like, how does he have all this? Like, how is he doing this once a day? Like, how are you not running out of ugly bitches to make them beautiful? And then I realized, and I'm like, oh, it's because these people have put so many ugly fucking people in video games that he has an infinite job. You gave him a fucking job for like a year. And I couldn't believe it. So that's when I realized, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. He made a fucking Twitter job out of it. Crazy. So I just think that's funny. So these people, they'll call something ugly because it's AI. Meanwhile, that AI looks so much better than their supposed beautiful handmade human art. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, bro. Anyway, so including Battlefield 6, Call of Duty Black Ops, Anno 117, Pax Romana, and others, despite players almost universally being against AI art, that is, oh my God, that is not true. Oh my God, that is not true. These people are literally living in their own reality. They're living on their own reality. They just said that players are almost universally being against AI art and other stuff. This is from a website that gets less clicks on their articles than I do on some of my worst performing videos. Okay. But apparently they're gonna speak for all of you. They're gonna speak for everybody and say people are universally against AI. Come on, bro. This is what I mean by them trying to speak something into existence. They think that since they're the mainstream gaming media, they think that if they keep putting it out there, that they can influence the Google search algorithm. Which is true, by the way. They can influence the Google search algorithm. They can influence Google AI. If they keep putting out articles that say gamers are universally against AI, gamers are universally against this, gamers universally hate that, you know, they can try to influence the search, you know, terms and whatnot. Then it says PUBG publisher Craft on. Wait, hold on. AI art and other slop. This trend isn't going away in 26. PUBG publisher Craft on plans to spend nearly $70 million on becoming an AI first company. Ubisoft, meanwhile, is investing a lot into leveraging the controversial tech into its future video games, even showing off an FPS that was built entirely around AI technology. This shit has even worked its way into stuff like GZ Doom and television show recaps. This is our future. It fucking sucks. And until the AI bubble pops, we all will have to put up with more slop in 26. So greedy execs can make the line go up even more by replacing developers and artists with AI chatbots and hoping gamers eventually get over it. Gamers will get over it. They'll get over it if the games continue to be good, right? Just because something uses AI doesn't mean the game is bad. If the game is good, people aren't going to care. If the game is bad, people are going to care. And this is ultimately what it's come down to for decades now, right? It doesn't matter what tools are being utilized to make a game. Ultimately, people only care whether or not it's good or it's bad. Just like nobody cares about how anything else is made. These Kotaku journalists don't care about how their sneakers are made, right? All they care about is, does it fit nice and does it work? Does it feel good when they walk, right? That's all they care about. Just like the shirts that are on their back, right? They don't care about how those shirts are made. All they care about is, does it fit? Does it look nice? And that's it. That's all they care about. It's the same thing here with video games. People only care about whether the game is good or not. If the game is good, great. If the game sucks, well, you're going to hear about it. You're absolutely going to hear about it, right? And you're not going to be able to solely blame AI for why the game sucks. You could definitely involve it. You can involve it in the complaint, just like you can involve everything else. But truthfully, people are just going to say, hey, this game's fucking trash, right? And that's basically it. And keep in mind, these are the people that would try to stop other people from talking bad about video games, saying, oh, just play the game. Why are you so negative? Now, all of a sudden, it's okay to be negative because why? AI is being used? Get the fuck out of here, bro. These people, I swear. Anyway, playing video games is becoming a very expensive hobby. Now, this might be something that they could have, some truth to, as long as they talk about it honestly. It's never been cheap to play video games, but in 25, this already expensive hobby became even more pricey. As noted by Steven Totillo over at GameFile, since April, there have been 8 price hikes total from Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft on consoles, accessories, and subscriptions. This is likely one big reason why consoles were in the gutter in November. And even if you try to buy a used Xbox or PS5 to save money, it would still likely be more expensive than that same console would have cost at the launch in 2020. Okay, so this is true. This is absolutely true, right? And this is a major problem that we've talked about, where they did try, right? God bless their heart. They did try multiple times to try to get you for $80, right? Xbox saw Nintendo do it, and they were like, all right, boys, sound the alarm. It is now time to do it ourselves. And then they completely got fucking owned on Outer Worlds 2. And they're like, on second thought, let's go back to $70. Cancel all plans for $80 ASAP. And they tried to tell you every excuse. They were like, due to market conditions, that's why we're raising the price. And then apparently 30 days later, due to market conditions, we're lowering the price back to 70. It's like, so the market conditions changed that fast, huh? That complete bullshit about market conditions. Yeah, good job. Good job with that one. Meanwhile, Nintendo became the first publisher to break a shocking price barrier when it announced that Switch 2 launched Mario Kart World would be at $80. Later, Xbox announced the Outer Worlds 2 would also be $80, but the backlash was so strong they relented and lowered the price to $70. No, see, this is the thing. It wasn't about the backlash, okay? It was not about the backlash whatsoever. The reason why they lowered the price is because they saw the pre-orders for Outer Worlds 2, and they realized that they made an absolute bad decision, right? They made a bad decision. That's what it was. They saw the pre-orders, they saw all the internal numbers, and they're like, this isn't looking good. What are we doing? Right? We're gonna have to lower this shit to $70. That's the only reason why they did it. And then they realized that $80 is really gonna be a big problem for us. Not everybody can charge the same. So just because GTA charges $100 doesn't mean that everybody else can charge $100 too. Right? There's value propositions with certain video games. And that's what Xbox had to find out. They thought since Mario Kart World, which is, Mario has been around for fucking decades, right? An established mascot for a brand. They thought because he charged $80 for Mario Kart World, they thought they could charge $80 fucking dollars for Outer Worlds 2, that Outer Worlds 1 already had a small player base to begin with anyway. It's one of those games that sold a lot of copies for cheap over a long period of time. You thought you could charge $80 for that shit. Yeah, no, that's not happening, right? Perhaps you decide to skip console entirely, build a PC, take advantage of all the great deals, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really what it is, man. People, and look at this. Thanks to a number of factors, including tech companies gobbling up parts for AI usage and President Trump's idiotic tariffs. Guys, what the fuck do tariffs have to do with digital video games? Explain. What does tariffs have to do with digital video games? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? If you want to talk about parts, you want to talk about any of that, sure. But the fact that you're out here, you're like, that fucking idiot, his fucking tariffs. He's the only president to ever do tariffs, fucking idiot. Like any chance to, and this is why they are going to fail. This is why in 2026, they are going to fail more than they already did in 25 and 24, is because they just can't fucking help themselves. They just can't help themselves. You had to you had to put in that TDS, bro. You had to, right? You just could not help yourselves, Anyway, Valve also announced that it is done making the cheapest version of the Steam Deck, which isn't good news for folks looking for an affordable and accessible entry into PC gaming. I mean, none of this is good news with the rumors swirling the next-gen machines will be expensive behemoths. I'd recommend gamers start saving up money as we enter 26. Yeah, I've been saying that I think the next console for PlayStation and Xbox are going to be, for the cheapest model, I think it's going to be right at $999. I think they're going to make it $999 so that mentally it looks like a 3-digit number when really it's a 4-digit number. But I think it's going to be $999 at the cheapest for both of those systems. And then whatever the pro versions of those systems are going to be, they're going to be like $1,200 probably. It's going to be something insane, especially with the RAM price increase. If they don't come down soon, which I don't think they're going to. Valve and credit card companies decide what games are allowed to exist. Oh, finally, we talk about something with some substance to it. So obviously you guys are aware the Steam and itch.io censorship with Visa, MasterCard, collective shout, all that nonsense. That was a big problem, and will continue to be a big problem into 2026. I think that a lot of the stink that was raised has made Steam try to be a little bit more lenient, but there are definitely certain games that used to be allowed on Steam that are just no longer allowed on Steam. And they are usually more of the hardcore video games right now. But the problem with this is that we saw this start to affect video games that have nothing to do with gooning, video games that have nothing to do with like sex or nudity or anything. We started to see this affect video games like horror video games. And I'm not talking about Horses. Horses was obviously more of it had a little bit of gooning to it and very questionable content. But I'm talking about like actual real horror games. It was starting to affect some indie horror games that were being a little bit too bloody, a little bit too gory. And, that's a problem. That's a problem, in my opinion. Like you can stop treating people like fucking kids and let people consume adult content that are adults, So that definitely was an issue. And I think we're going to see more of this in 26. I hope we don't see a ton of it. I hope it's very minimal. Oh, look at this, bro. The $55 billion Saudi Arabia EA deal. That's a problem. That's a problem for them, apparently. They're not happy about that. The journalists are not happy about that. Electronic Arts is probably not anyone's favorite publisher, given it's responsible for turning some beloved IPs into live service slop and gutting certain teams under its umbrella after undermining them for decades. But nobody wants to see a company bought out by the Saudi Arabian government. It's interesting, man. These people that claim to be inclusive, these people that shill for Palestine and all that shit, like these people that it seems like they only shill for certain groups of ethnicities and whatever, as long as those ethnicities line up with whatever their perceived social values are. This is pretty fucking judgmental, isn't it? Nobody wants to see a studio owned by the Saudi Arabian government. Like, why not? Why not? What are you assuming about this government? Like, what are you thinking about this government, right? Like, they have all these thoughts behind this. And the truth is that they would have no problem if somebody in Palestine was like, yeah, we want to buy EA right now. They'd have no problem. Zero problem. But because it's Saudi Arabia, they're like, no, somebody told us to be angry about that. So we're going to be angry about that. Though EA claims that it will maintain creative freedom after the $55 billion deal is signed, sealed, and delivered, all it takes is one person from on high to say that BioWare can include career relationships in Mass Effect 5, or that The Sims is not going to focus exclusively on the nuclear family for all that independence to go away. It's so interesting, bro. Isn't it interesting? Hold on, wait a second. I find this to be really interesting. So you mean to tell me that the people who are advocates for if you don't like it, don't buy it, all of a sudden are now angry at the mere thought of something that used to be in a video game getting changed? Wow. You don't say. You don't say. So you mean to tell me that people get angry when they know certain franchises have certain content in it from the past and they come to expect certain things only to find out that somebody changed it because of their social ideas? No. No way does that happen, boys. That doesn't happen. No, not at all. That doesn't happen at all. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So again, these are the people that while they were advocating for changing IPs and changing content that didn't have certain things in it in the past that they said had to have it now because of representation, all of a sudden are now angry at the thought of certain games that had certain things in the past no longer having that content because of social ideology. That's crazy. Almost as if they're fucking hypocrites. Anyway, so they're angry at the idea of there being no gay in Mass Effect, and apparently The Sims being about nuclear family and not about, I don't know, fucking each other in the ass or something. EA could put a brave face on all at once, but this is bleak, and a lot of good developers and stories are likely going to suffer from it. Get over it, bro. It's fucking stupid. What's the next one? Mind's Eye, bro. Mind's Eye is in its own category. It was that bad. Mind's Eye. Oh man. What is there to say about this game? Sincerely. What is there to say about this game, Mind's Eye, bro? Like, this shit was terrible. Like, this game had red flags all over the field. I tried to scream to people like, yo, red flag, red flag, red flag. People are leaving. The game is about to launch. You got fucking executives leaving. You got the legals, the person in charge of legal leaving. There's something bad going on, you know? And the Grand Theft Auto shills, they were like, no, Leslie would never lie to us. Leslie said that this is going to be a Grand Theft Auto killer. Nope. Complete disaster. And not only that, I mean, does it make me a psychopath that I platinum this game on Steam in like 13 hours? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, what do you know? Another TDS post. President Trump's gaming post and the lack of any pushback. Look at this. Bro, look at this. Look at this shit. This is Kotaku, bro. This is the game. This is the Western gaming media. What the fuck does Trump like? I love how they like to pretend as if Trump is the main cause of all their problems. Meanwhile, all this shit started to happen even when Biden was in office. The only thing that was made worse by Trump was subsidization, right? Subsidization got nuked by Trump. Other than that, everything was happening before that, right? Orange man bad, I know. Everything was happening before that. You started to see the decline, the fall of gaming was starting to happen little by little, but somehow, some way, oh, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's goddamn orange man. You know, the tariffs. He's the reason why games was more expensive. Tariffs. You know, the Trump administration turning fascist propaganda. Oh, God. Oh, man, I hate these people so much. Fascist propaganda into the stuff of memes isn't terribly surprising, but it's disappointing that some of the biggest companies in video games just let him use their IP to do it. Oh, they're complaining about Pokemon being used by ICE. I remember that. Yeah, they threw a fucking bitch fit over that. I guess they don't understand. Microsoft and the Pokemon company both saw their creations used in posts from Trump administration trying to recruit nerds to join ICE. While the Pokemon company said that it hadn't given permission for use of its work, it stopped short of condemning the video posts of ICE agents catching immigrants set to the iconic anime theme song from the 90s. Microsoft, meanwhile, didn't say a goddamn word. Good. The fuck they gonna say? What are they gonna say, bro? It's a meme. It's a joke. What are they gonna say? Are you gonna have a company go against the U.S. government because the U.S. government apparently is not allowed to make jokes on their social media profiles? Is that the world we're living in now? You want these companies to be able to go against the U.S. government and say, don't make a joke about me. You understand what kind of door that opens? Okay, here's the door that opens, okay? Because a door opens, and once it opens, you allow for things to go in and out. Pause, by the way. So you open the door where a company says, you are not allowed to make a joke about me, and we're going to take you down for it, or we're going to sue you or whatever for it. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. So then what stops the government from saying, you're not allowed to make jokes about us, and we're going to stop you if you ever remotely even think about making a joke about us? Do you realize this goes both ways? Do you really want to live in a country where the government says you can't make a fucking joke about us? Because if you want to be curious about what that looks like, just ask people that are in the UK. Because I'm sure things are not going very well over there. I see a bunch of people in the UK complaining all the time about speech. Do you really want to live in that world? I don't. So why would you be advocating for a company to go out there and say, you can't do that, you can't make jokes about us, you can't make jokes with our stuff? Because all it takes is for the government to return the favor, and then you're going to be sitting there fucking bitching about it. You're going to be claiming they're fascists for doing the exact same thing that you're trying to say that the gaming studio should do. With the current administration being this brain rotted and online, I like how the people that are into fucking refrigerators are calling other people brain rotted. Isn't that crazy? The people who are gooning over refrigerators and like radios and whatever the fuck you can apparently do and date everything are the same people that are calling other people brain rotted. I imagine most people just want to keep their heads down, not put the spotlight on themselves for longer than they have to. But if Sabrina Carpenter could tell Trump to eat shit, so can you, Master Chief. The continued death of physical media, I agree. That sucks. I'm not even going to bother covering that. GTA 6 delayed twice as Rockstar faces accusations. Yeah, I already covered that. Union busting. Okay, that's basically it. Okay. So that's everything. That's everything from Kotaku. There were some things that I agree with in here. A couple of things, not much, but most of it is basically just TDS and complaining about issues that they themselves have caused. Right? Like you guys are your own biggest issue. That's just the truth of it all. You like the gaming media is their own worst enemy. And you can sit up here and complain all you want about how bad things are and how unfair things are and about how AI slop and all this bullshit. But the truth is that you guys are the reason why things are the way that they are. You misrepresent things constantly. You're fucking trying to turn everything into a morality battle. You can't just let people talk about things, whether positively, negatively, whatever. You can't just let things be. You always got to be telling people what to do, how to act, what to feel, and everything, like what to say. And it's funny because you guys are the ones that are called the people fascists, but you guys act the most fascist out of everybody. That's why nobody likes them. And it's not just Kotaku; it's all of them. They all do it. So you made your bed. It's basically it, man. You live in the world that you live in. All right, we are pretty far out. I just want to cover the last two subjects really fast. Star Citizen is almost at $1 billion in player funding. And this game is a game that I will never quite understand. I will never see what the hype is. I will never understand how this even remotely hit $1 billion. It's actually fucking insane to me. But again, just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that, other people aren't allowed to partake in it, enjoy it, or whatever. But $1 billion in player funding in 2026 is wild. Wild to me. And still almost nothing to show for it, right? But they still keep getting the money, so they must be selling something good. I don't know what. They must be selling something. In 2026, gaming will almost certainly reach a huge, seemingly inconceivable milestone. And they're about to surpass $1 billion in funding. When last checked in, Star Citizen's Godzilla-sized money magnet in April, at which point the game had just crossed 800 million mark. So in April, they were at the 800 million mark. So from April to now, they made that much money. Bro, how has this not been investigated? Sincerely. That number has grown substantially. These guys gave themselves jobs. These guys gave themselves jobs for a long time with this money. At the time of writing, Star Citizen is sitting pretty atop a mountain of 925 million simoleons. That money was really originally sourced through traditional crowdfunding, though nowadays Star Citizen raises funds through a mixture of microtransactions, paid alpha access, and virtual spaceships that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. In any case, at its current rate, Star Citizen should cross the 1 billion marker somewhere around July or August of next year. 1 billion. That's enough money to make 5 God of War Ragnaroks, and Sony Santa Monica would probably finish those games too. Bro, holy shit. I can't even remotely understand. The most recent update landed earlier this month with version 4.5, adding an engineering role for players to participate in. This lets players manage power distribution, repair, and replace ship components and fight literal fires that may spark during combat or due to other factors. It's had a playable alpha, which I guess is okay. I guess people, have something to actually play. But I mean, having a physical alpha after almost $1 billion, yeah, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. But hey, listen, if people are happy with it, then again, that's all that matters. It's not going to be for me personally. I never saw this. What's this? Dawn of Engineering? Alpha 4.5, Dawn of Engineering YouTube. These people are dropping patches for an alpha. They said, fuck the full release. We can make money just dropping patches for alpha and then making trailers for it and selling it. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Hold on. Let me watch this. Nice.
Quand il dansait avec moi,
Copyright.
je me laissais bercer.
Warning, fire detected. Warning, fire detected.
Mon destin est mourir passé. Sans lui, mon cœur
For me, I don't understand how this game almost has the budget of Grand Theft Auto. Like it has almost half the budget of Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is rumored to have almost a $2 billion budget. And this game, after an insane amount of years, is still an alpha with almost $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? This is just the Mass Effect 2 opening. Yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty close. I mean, listen, the concept has always been cool. The concept has definitely always been cool with Star Citizen. I remember reacting to this ages ago, right? And I also remember seeing it ages ago. The concept has always been cool, but it's just it never seemed to be put together in any simple traditional way. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. Scope creep is a real problem. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that they had so many ideas, so many plans, and I don't think they fully realized exactly what that would cost or what that would do. But then they found a way to monetize that long enough for them to eventually maybe get there. I think that they said you can't really say anything unless you played it. Okay, well, that's not true, right? Because if that's the case, then I can't say anything about any game unless I played it, right? So that's not true whatsoever. I absolutely can say that $1 billion fucking dollars in a video game sounds like a lot of money. I can absolutely say that, and I will say that. And I'll say it again. $1 billion seems like a lot of fucking money for a video game, even for Grand Theft Auto. Now, Grand Theft Auto has an actual history of making an insane amount of money. So I could see why they would invest $1 to $2 billion, But a game like this with no real history behind it is just a little bit questionable, especially for the amount of time that it's been supposedly in alpha or whatever they call it. So I don't know. It says this is actually two questions joined together. It's single player campaign, the star-studded Squadron 42. I remember they said we're working on that too. Supposed to launch next year, but the campaign's absence from this year's CitizenCon Direct cast doubt on this release window, though content director Jake Huckabee said that this was because RSI was focused on actually making it. That's a very weird thing to say. That's very strange. Okay, I suppose. That's weird. Not you, people in chat saying it's a scam. I mean, people are allowed to say that they think it's a scam if it looks like one. If it looks like a duck quacks like a duck, But again, it all depends. It all depends. Can you? So let me ask you a question. Can you play this game without investing in it? Can you gain access to the alpha without investing money in it? Out of curiosity, does anybody know that? So they weren't making it. I have no idea. That's a weird excuse to not be able to have a trailer. No, you got to spend $40. Yes, $40 is all you need. So you have to invest $40 in a video game to find out if it's a scam or not. Do you think that's not insane? So you have to spend 40 to 50. You know what I could get for $40? I can get fully released video games completed for $40. Now keep in mind, this is again not saying that you can't enjoy the game. Like if people say that the game looks like a scam, Well, that doesn't mean suddenly you got to put the game down and stop playing it. You know? But people are allowed to have their opinion on the game. So it's no different than any other early access game. So can you name one early access video game that has received almost $1 billion in funding for over a decade's worth of time and is asking you $40 for it? Again, I have no skin in the game. Don't care about this game whatsoever. I'm an outsider looking in and trying to explain why perhaps people might look at this and say this is a little bit weird. You know what I mean? Can you play the game? Yes. Is the game good? Maybe. But I'm just saying from the outside, can you look at that and say, well, that's a little bit strange, right? It's not like this game has only been in early access for a few years. Like they've been making this game for a while. It has a long history of it, right? And $1 billion is not a small amount of money. So people are going to look at that and they're going to say, well, that's a little bit questionable. And you can't exactly blame them for that. Now, listen, you can, by all means, you could try to convince him to play the game. You could kind of try to convince him to buy the game. That's fine. And maybe when they buy the game and play it, they think it's good. You know? But from the outside looking in, Star Citizen, there's a lot of questionable things about it from a funding standpoint. And people have a right to look at that and say that looks questionable. You know? But in any case, hopefully next year, Squadron 42 does release, because I think that's probably going to make... I think Squadron 42... being the single player campaign for Star Citizen, I think that could potentially really bring a lot of people into the actual Star Citizen. And if it's good, they'll say, okay, well, I'm willing to back this now because, well, I got a Squadron 42 and it's actually really good. And I'm willing to take the risk now because I've been convinced, you know? So I think that's going to be really huge for them if they can get that game off the ground, you know? Violent City says Project Zomboid has been in early access since 2023 and 2013, and it's $20. Have they had over $1 billion in funding, or almost $1 billion? Project Zomboid? That's insane if they have. Let me see. Let me just look it up. See if we can find information. How much money has Project Zomboid made? Project Zomboid has generated substantial revenue. Estimates place it around $120 to $160 million. So they're about one tenth of the number that Star Citizen, or 1/8 of the number Star Citizen is, since 2013. So interesting. Not even close, basically. Just using it as a comparison. No, it was a good comparison. That's fine. I wanted to look it up. I didn't know, so that's why I looked it up. We're just high on copium. I don't know if it's that. All right, let's move on to the last topic, boys. Anyway, yeah, I would be looking forward to Squadron 42. I think this is definitely going to be the make or break, I think, for this is going to be the make or break, I think, for public perception regarding Star Citizen. And hopefully it comes out. Hopefully it's good. I think that'll be a big deal. So we'll see. Zomboid is fully playable, though. Listen, Mark, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. All right, last topic, boys. Steam. So as you guys are aware, over the holidays, Steam and other companies got taken down. They got hammered. They got destroyed. And it's something that happens every single holiday season. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but lately there's been a lot of takedowns of a lot of major gaming-oriented services. And even though it's not just gaming, there have been other services that have been taken down. Essentially anything that uses AWS, which is Amazon's servers, you know, they own 1/3 of the internet. So if AWS goes down, I mean, it basically takes down a lot of shit. Now, Steam always seems to get targeted. And people don't realize, like, it's not the supposed normal traffic of the Steam sales. And people try to say, oh, that's all it is. It's not. Like, and it's been proven, because then you'll realize all these other places got taken down too at the same time. And Steam was one of them. Now, Steam is back up. But after Steam went back up, Epic Games got fucking hammered and taken down. And honestly, again, I don't exactly know why this is happening. I don't know if it's just somebody trying to flex their power. I don't know if it's people that are just choosing to try to ruin the holidays for people, you know, because people are off right now. So a lot of people anyway. are off right now. So this is the time people get extra gaming in. And the truth is that, unfortunately, that's just not the case. So Epic ended up putting out a statement. Epic Game Store is reporting major outages with its login and matchmaking services. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney apologized for the problems, saying that the servers are melting down. Now, do you really genuinely believe that anybody's using Epic Games servers that much that the servers are melting down? No, obviously not. They got targeted in the same way that other people got targeted. Who's fucking with the gaming industry? I have no idea. I have no idea. But I can only imagine it's going to happen again. It happens every time there's a major holiday. Every time. And then eventually they fix it and, they move on. Even other services like Xbox Live, EA Online services, all were having problems as well. And, this is basically something that affected multiple different places and stores. So all I got to say is if you, hopefully it didn't affect you too much. And the sad truth is that it probably did. Look at this. Look at all these offline reports. Holy shit. Wow. Down detector serial issue with Steam after 1 p.m. Eastern. It's unclear what's going on, but a little before 2, we're guessing this is not routine maintenance. It's not. The unofficial Steam status website is reporting WebSocket errors and said the entire Steam store community and web API are offline. We almost weren't able to even do the Indie Showcase because it was offline. We usually use Indie Showcase. We use Steam to do the Indie Showcase because it has the most indie games on there with actual trailers and whatnot. But even other websites were down too. So we weren't able to, we almost weren't able to do it. And then we went live, and right as we went live, it started to work again. Violent City says when Hogwarts Legacy was free, the site did get messed up, but not this bad. Well, that I can understand. I can understand Hogwarts Legacy drawing a lot of traffic, Chief Daniel says Hypnotic, Star Citizen twice a year does a free fly event so you could try out the game for free for like a week at a time. Maybe I'll check it out. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, that's basically it. That's what happened. I think there was a takedown here for all of these services, and it's nothing new. Like this happens every single holiday. So Monkey Man says, I don't get how this is news. Steam has its ups and downs because it's not just an ups and downs, right? And because it wasn't just Steam. It was a blanket takedown. So basically, they're not admitting who did it. Last time they said it was part of that bot network that did it. But this time they're not saying who did it. And it's very clear that somebody did something. All these servers going down at the same time is not just a fluke up and down. Like that's not just up and downs. Somebody absolutely did something. So that's the reason why we're talking about it. Just because people were asking, because people were saying in the last stream, Steam is down, what's going on? And I never got to cover it. So I'm just covering it today so people understand what happened. Trump says China. It was China. Didn't Sony get hacked this month? No. So what happened with the Sony thing, we covered that the other day. What happened with the Sony thing, it wasn't a hack. It was a fucking journalist that ended up uploading key information to be able to get into their account on an article many years ago, and somebody utilized that information to hack their account and to keep their account for a long period of time. And they tried to report it as a major security flaw. It's not a major security flaw. You put information from a purchase that you made and you posted a picture of that on an article that some hacker found and then used that information to get into your account. That's not a security flaw. That's you being stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big fucking difference. So, but how they reported it was so disingenuous. They were like, oh, major security flaw. Even for PlayStation Network, it's like, bro, come on. We understand that PSN is a shit service in that regard, but there's no reason to fucking turn it into something that it's not, So anyway, still, this shit happens all the time. I don't see this being a big deal. All right. I mean, listen, if you don't see people not being able to play video games on a holiday for a day or two as a big deal, when they don't really get many days off to begin with, then I guess the hackers should do it for a whole week or two. Fuck it. It's not a big deal. You know what? Just take the service down for a month. It's not a big deal. It's okay. They'll be fine. All right. Think that's everything. Let me catch up on supers really quick. Where are we at? Odin Dark with it too. They blame guns instead of whoever pulls the trigger. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying before. It's the same concept, right? Blame the tool. Don't blame the person using it. It's so dumb. Old Chip Crinkle with a 499. Is there any way to see if this article was written by AI? I'm sure you can upload it into an AI detector, but the truth is that those AI detectors are often just wrong. So I don't even bother using them personally. Mr. Melancholy with it too. Journalists use sites like a personal diary. That they do. They do. They use it as like a trauma dumping ground 9 times out of 10. And it's fucking sad, but that's just what it is. So it's a bit of a joke. And then we have Crash Collins on Rumble gifting a membership. Thank you, Crash Collins. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. I think that's it, boys. Shout out to all you. And today was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream in the way that you did. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Join me on the next one tomorrow. No videos or anything. Like I said, I'm taking a break, but I am doing streaming. Obviously, within reason. And you guys have been amazing. I think we're about 50 or 60 memberships away from the Sonya Go. So we'll try to hit the Sonya Go maybe tomorrow and see if we can get her an emoji. Once we unlock that emoji, I will let you guys know, and I'll have her design her own emoji. I'm not going to make one for her because, God forbid, I don't want to get yelled at for that shit. We'll make her one, and we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, guys, thank you everybody. There's no waifu battle because, again, we're on the road. Thank you everybody for liking, commenting, spamming the chat, super chatting, gifting memberships, gifting games, everything. I appreciate you. And of course, shout out to the Hypno mods for doing what they do every single day. I appreciate you guys as well. And I will see all of you on the next one. Until then, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women.
The dog, or her cat, was named Vagina.